We are having a conversation today with Mr. SaiSatish Vedam, who is the co-founder, the Director of Programs and the Chief Product Officer at the Institute of Product Leadership. Let us learn more about the Institute and the programs offered in product, data and design and his perspectives on how executive education is changing. Happy to have you here, Mr. SaiSatish. Could you please give us a little more information on your background and the responsibilities at the Institute?
Thanks, Shema, for having me. Like many of the professionals in this country, I also joined the industry as an engineer and spent more than a decade in amazing companies building some really disruptive products. I mean, I've been part of a product that actually is currently used by 800 million people live today, and that gives me immense sense of pride. My journey has been very deliberate and not accidental. So I had to actually take several steps to understand what this particular role is and how to make a transition to it. And along the way, I've been engaged with the Institute of Product Leadership for several years now as a speaker, as a jury, as a coach, as a faculty. And then finally, now here I am full-fledged at the Institute of Product Leadership.
That's a great profile, Mr. SaiSatish. I'd love to understand the vision, the mission, and how did it all start for the Institute?
So about 10 years ago, some of us in the product ecosystem realized that India will move from the value co-creation phase to the value productizing phase. And that requires different set of skill sets, different sets of mindsets. And we need to equip and enable this ecosystem with product thinking, product mindset, and product skills. So this is when few people came together and then started this institute with a singular goal of enabling the working professionals with these three things. Now, if you want to talk about the mission of Institute of Product Leadership, it's a very simple mission and everything that we do is geared towards that. And the mission is to be able to create 10,000 product leaders in this country in the next 5 years. And here is how we are going to do that. Number one is design and deliver world-class programs for working professionals in the area of new age skills, which is product, design, and data. Number two is we partner with lots of industry practitioners, passionate educators, other enabler organizations, corporates to collaborate with them, engage with them, and taking them in this journey. The third one is we work very closely in defining the curriculum, designing the pedagogy and the learning experience that is relevant and contemporary so that it has immediate applicability in the industry.
So you keep emphasizing on the product ecosystem. Since product management is still an evolving field, what is your definition of a good product manager?
You know, every time I got $1 for somebody asked me that question, I probably would retire by now. And I think it still is baffling to many people. There are lots of cliches around who a product manager is. What do they do? Right? There are one-liners like a product manager is a CEO of a product. Or some people call it he's a janitor of the product who cleans up after the mess. Right? But the way I look at it is a good product manager is a master orchestrator of productizing process, which means that the product manager need to understand customer context, business context, innovation context, bring all of that together, work with the cross-functional stakeholders, and make sure that you build the right product and build it for the right people. So that's essentially a product manager for me.
Now that's a succinct definition of a good product manager. But how do you think executive education and continuous learning for working professionals has evolved in the last 5 years?
Oh, there's been tremendous changes in the last 5 years in the executive education. In fact, one of the things that you see is changing preferences of the working professionals towards continuous education is now more focused on specific competencies and skills as opposed to where it used to be on general management. The second change that I've noticed is content is no longer the differentiator. Earlier, institutes or organizations with lots of resources could do fantastic production of content, of courses, but now it's almost democratized, right? So you see products like LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, or Udemy coming up with some really compelling content. So content is no longer the differentiator, and hence they are looking for experiential learning, right? And also learning from the people who do, as opposed to learning from academics. There's no disrespect to academicians. Some of them do some amazing work, but people who actually practice this in their lives go through a lots of practical experiences, and lots of working professionals would love to learn from the practitioners more, and that is a big change that has happened. Big organizations, institutes like MIT, Harvard have now a global reach, right? And especially the programs that are designed for virtual education, they are able to reach all corners of the world. So these are the big changes, in my view, in the last 5 years that have kind of disrupted the executive education.
Having talked about the disruptions in the executive education space, what programs do you offer for professionals looking to fast track their career paths?
Especially focusing on the 3 new age skills that we talk about, right? The product, design, and data. And in these areas, we already have accredited programs, which is the Executive MBA in Product Leadership, and there is an MBA in Technology Management and Applied Data Science. Then there are certification programs which are short term but very focused on specific competencies or skills like product management, user experience design, data science management. And these are the certification programs. We also have the digital learning, that compelling content created by expert practitioners and offered for people who want to do self-paced learning. So IPL also does lots of corporate workshops to a homogeneous audience, specifically on the areas that they want to enable their employees on the skills part of it. So all these programs also include one-on-one mentoring and coaching from industry practitioners, and IPL has a product that brings these coaches and mentees together. It's called mentorengage.com. So these are the different programs and products that IPL today is offering, and of course that is continuously evolving and improving, and new ones coming up.
Although the institute offers a variety of unique programs, there are many players in the market offering product management courses. What makes Institute of Product Leadership stand out in this red ocean market?
And why IPL stands out is essentially its career club. What we are offering to the senior working professionals is relevant, is contemporary, is useful, and something that they want to hire people for. Many of these programs help them put the pieces of puzzle together and get a big picture, full picture, before they jump in 2 feet in and burn their fingers.